KZST. Wolfman Jack.
All right, friends, onions, countrymen, and women, lend me your ears.
Are you ready, Freddy? We've got Freddy Fender on bass guitar, and I'm Mexican Danny. Thanks for the help, Freddy.
It's my pleasure.
Barbacoa and Big Rig.
Hey, man, listen, you're taking a walk by Jack Show.
Barbacoa and Big Rig. San Antonio's way to get fit. A San Antonio Hispanic gang. Barbacoa, Big Rig flame. This is the Southside National Anthem. Also the West Sides, if you ask 'em. I roll to the North Side in my really cool low ride. I ordered barbacoa instead. They didn't understand what I said. They asked, will you have a sandwich instead? I said, I am Raza, tortillas not bread. I cruise to the South Side. They make barbacoa with pride. I saw a Mexican restaurant. They do have what we want. I ordered barbacoa, I was in a row. Barbacoa and Big Red is our main goal. This Southside and Westside National Anthem is in our soul. Barbacoa and Big Red is our goal. I cruise to the east side, low and slow in my ride. At a drive-thru they asked me, will you have a burger and tea? I said, oh no, I am a Latin breed. Give me barbacoa and Big Red indeed. I bounced to the west side. I rolled in my low ride. I saw a taco truck that's cool. With real Mexicans old school. If you wanna get fed Mexican style, barbacoa and Big Red is so worthwhile. This is the Southside National Anthem, and the West Side, if you ask 'em. Barbacoa and the Spurs game. In San Antonio, there is a flame. Barbacoa is in our soul. A giant taco is our goal. I went to the Southside to have a good time. I stopped at a restaurant that looked so fine. I ordered barbacoa and a Big Red. They gave a thumbs up. I had new friends. This is Mexican Danny from San Antonio.
That's a gas, Wolfman.
All right. Someone told me on my phone, isn't that nice?
Hi, Wolfman?
Yes.
Calling from Forestville, and the reception on my radio is not very good. What should I do?
Take your radio, hold it clear over your head.
Alright, okay, I got it.
Are you doing that right now, dear? Yes, you are.
But I can't hear the radio any better.
Yeah, that's where it goes, I guess.
Turn that dial to Wolfman Jack. He'll bring your happiness right back. Late at night, he'll howl for you. He'll bring you joy and happiness too. He'll get crazy and weird if he can. He'll start howling. He's the Wolfman. Wolfman Jack growls for the Rio Grande Valley. We love you, Wolfman. This is Mexican Danny. Okay, we've got Freddie Fender and Jimmy Gonzalez on guitars. And I'm Mexican Danny. Thank you for listening to the Wolfman Jack radio show. Barbacoa and Big Red. It's how the valley does get fed.
The Rio Pretty Fender. Yeah! Jimmy Gonzalez, little más.
Jesus Angel Martinez on keyboards. Barbacoa and Big Red. It's what the valley eats instead. I like tortillas and not bread. It's how la raza does get fed. I took a ride to my galley, looking for barbacoa and Big Red. These ojitos se salen when they see barbacoa and Big Red. It's the breakfast of the champions when I need to get fed. Barbacoa and Big Red. I went cruising to Tejano, looking for barbacoa and Big Red. There are restaurants that wanna, but they sell hamburgers only instead. I tell them, oh no, I am Valley Raza. I love tortillas and not bread. This is the Valley National Anthem, they say. The Valley Raza loves heavy onda every single day. I'm Mexican Danny, your good friend. This Valley Anthem is the new trend.
The Rio Grande Valley National Anthem.
A giant taco is our goal. I took a ride to Westlaco, looking for barbacoa and Big Red. And I cruised so low and slow on old business 83, slow and steady. All the towns in the valley do barbacoa, barbacoa and Big Red. I went low riding to Brownsville for barbacoa and Big Red. It's a really cool town still, with San Benito up ahead. Barbacoa tacos are in my soul. About a pound or two is my goal.
Grande Valley National Anthem.
Danny has an ability of such power in his music, and he can just force you along, and at the same time he can drop back and do a ballad that is so beautiful. And I don't know many that can have the edge and the force of his music, and at the same time can have the beauty of it as well.
Hello, Selena. This is your friend Danny Moreno. This is the demo recording of the lyrics I showed you that you said you would love to record. Jesus Angel and I wrote the song. Juan Gabriel reviewed the verses and rewrote verse number 5. Juan te manda sus bendiciones y él desea que esta canción sea un éxito mundial para ti. Okay, Selena, we got Freddie Fender helping us out on acoustic guitar.
Espero que les guste bastante Danny, su servidor Freddie Fender.
Freddie, can you mix it? You're better at mixing than I am.
Good Morning America, you're on ABC.
And today we've got a place once again, as we did yesterday, and it's a great place.
Of course, we're live right now. If you're hearing me, come on over to the Freak Show exhibit. Come on down, all you local yokels, and come see this Freak Show animal. It's a once-in-a-lifetime you don't want to miss. Coming to you live from the Nevada County State Fair, about an hour north of Las Vegas, Nevada, with my good friend Daredevil Danny, who has brought him his Freak Show 50 freaky, crazy animals. Daredevil Danny, how you doing today?
Doing great. Great to be in the Las Vegas area here at the Nevada County State Fair. We're currently exhibiting 50 freak mutant animals. We're working the State Fair circuit at this point. We're going to be at the 1995 Houston Livestock Show coming up, virtually from the Rio Grande Valley, where we have a roadside attraction and exhibit the freak mutant animals at our Museum of the Incredible in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas.
I like your outfit, Danny. I understand that the designer will be live with us on the phone. As a matter of fact, she's on the phone waiting right now. Selena Quintanilla will be right back live.
Hey Mom, one of these drinks has 30% less sugar than the others. It's not a wine punch, it's not high C, it's Kool-Aid, and less
Live at the Nevada County State Fair, about an hour north of Las Vegas, Nevada, with my good friend Daredevil Danny, who currently holds 2 world records. Selena Quintanilla live on the phone right now.
Hey, Daddy, how are you? When are you going to come visit me? I have some ideas for you.
Hey Selena, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I know you're going to be at the 1995 edition of the Houston Livestock Show. I will be showing over there too. I hope we run into each other over there.
We are KYMT, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Planet Earth. Welcome all you crazy humans and non-humans, those extraterrestrials, coming to you live with special guest Daredevil Danny. Hello, Danny.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, Danny, you just returned from a 22-city tour, which started in Acapulco, Mexico, and ended in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But along this tour, you made some history. You made some records. You made the news. You were on world news. You know, I saw something on the news the other day, which is pretty interesting, Danny. You were incarcerated because of an illusion show that went wrong live on stage. It was a bat that did not want to cooperate, right?
Well, actually, it was a magic illusion gone wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was a 22-show tour, and out of 22 times, 3 times, and 1 in Acapulco, 2 in Mexico City, and 3 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, during Festival Carnival. The bat bit me in the hand during the show, so it was
so the fangs were stuck in. You couldn't just pull them off. You couldn't just keep going. I mean, it was hooked.
Right. So I hold 2 world records at the time, and I cannot cry like a baby on stage. The show must go on. So in order to improvise and make it look like part of the show, I bit the head off the bat. It took about over 30 seconds to get the bat off my hand.
And a true showman. The show must go on, of course.
The show must go on.
But you were arrested for that, were you not, in Rio de Janeiro?
Actually, it was considered, yes.
You were charged with disorderly conduct, correct?
Correct.
But it was the bat that was actually being disorderly.
Well, but what it was an attempt to get money off American.
Right. They were making an excuse to incarcerate you, place you behind bars, which they did, and they left you there for 62 days.
Correct.
And they gave you a 5-gallon bucket for your latrine facilities, I guess we could say.
That's right.
And that they refused to empty. But the whole while, you made the news. Did you know you were on the news while you were behind bars? I mean, did you have any contact with the outside world?
After about a week, when they finally allowed me to get an attorney, and the attorney informed me that, yes, I'll get some publicity on it.
Yeah, and this publicity was coming from a riot that was demanding your release.
Correct.
And among these rioters was a UFO cult.
Correct.
And the Hare Krishna...
Temple followers.
Temple followers, yes, I'm sorry. I got a little tongue-tied there. Okay, so they're demanding your release. You're collecting a group of followers outside from every gamut of perception that you can think of. UFO cult, Hare Krishna, Temple followers, just regular people that love Daredevil. Danny, we already know you because you're world famous already.
There was about 5 microbuses full of hippies, too.
Okay.
To the riot.
Okay, so now... The Rio de Janeiro Police Department didn't have any choice at this point, right? Because they were about ready to burn down the police department. Plus, they knew that they finally realized that you weren't going to give them the money they were demanding because you were being incarcerated and held against your will for no reason at all, except for defending yourself against a crazy bat. But you also made another record upon release. Is that correct?
Well,
you have the record for the quickest arrest upon release. You were arrested within 30 seconds of you walking out of that police department. Is that right?
Yes.
And you made the news. Again, on the news, you know, I did see that, but there was a lot of people out there. There was rioters, of course. You know, you had crazy people all over this place ready to burn this thing down. But I saw a man pissing on the police department. Was that you, Danny?
Well, unfortunately, yes.
And that's how you got the record for the quickest arrest upon release.
Quickest rearrest. Well, actually, I was mad because of the money they extorted me and the payola they forced me to get out of jail. So in retaliation, I urinated on the police station front wall.
Wow.
It's not something I'm proud of, but hey, when you're mad at the moment, what can you do?
Well, I guess all publicity is good publicity. I mean, you got the record for being the first man to bite the head off of a live bat on stage. You, the record for the quickest rearrest upon release. And you made the news, and they showed you on the news peeing on the police department in Rio de Janeiro. Man, that's a lot for one day. You know, when it all culminated to that day, right? Everything that happened. A true showman, indeed. And let's go ahead and remind the viewers today that you will be assisting Siegfried and Roy in their live acts this Saturday night, Daredevil Danny. Y'all make sure you make that show. It's going to be a good one. Coming up after these messages, we'll give you an update on the Cold War. President Reagan and Fidel Castro look like they're ready to put on the gloves.
KYMT, Las Vegas.
We play. Hey, Daredevil Danny, you are a very interesting person. You've been all over the world. You've been televised in 58 countries. You've had 18 broken bones. You know Evel Knievel. You know Arnold Schwarzenegger. But you also know the Pope John Paul II and Mother Teresa. You had 3 meetings with her, correct? Sir, how do you explain the fact that you have friends from this side and that side, and they're all so interested to know me, Daredevil Danny?
Well, the meetings that I had with Pope John Paul II and Mother Teresa were, the subject line was the freak animals that exhibit and the end times, to see if there was any kind of possible connection between the two.
So what was the Pope like?
Very special person. Very special person. He's a busy man, but you can feel a certain joy or happiness in him.
A spirit of joy, huh? A shining light in this dark world, huh?
Correct.
Mother Teresa. What about Mother Teresa? You know, I understand that she is like one of the most apologetic, the most empathetic, the most spiritual woman on earth. What was it like? Did she hug you? Did she give you shake your hand?
Yes, she's the type of person. She's a very, very humble person. I felt no arrogance or vanity in her. Pure, merciful and forgiving.
Understanding, of course. So not only are those your friends, but you also know Evel Knievel,
correct?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, a true showman. So not only do you have the Siegfried and Roy thing going on with them, assisting them, you are currently Nevada County State Fair.
Yes, we're working the U.S. State Fair circuit at this point. We just performed at the San Antonio Livestock Show. That was our 6th year. Houston Livestock Show, Dallas State Fair. We were at the L.A. County State Fair. We've been at Washington State, Chicago, New York, all over the place.
Daredevil Danny, you are a very interesting fella, and we will be right back with Daredevil Danny after these commercials from Pepsi and Doritos.
Now you see it, now you don't. Here you have it, here you won't. Oh, Diet Pepsi, one small calorie now.
We are KYMT, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, planet Earth. Welcome all you crazy crazies and humans and non-humans, extraterrestrials, coming to you live. We are the greatest crazy show on Earth. So today, instead of our usual abnormal topics of the weird and the factual, non-factual, mythological, apocalyptic conspiracy theories, we're going to take a break from all that and welcome our guest, Daredevil Danny, my good friend. You know, my motto is insane, stay sane in a crazy world, but you have got to be the most sanest person I know then, because who else is going to get released because a UFO cult is demanding them, the Hersh Krishnoff, and among all the others, for biting the head off of a bat, pissing on a police department, making the world record for the quickest arrest upon release. Danny, I have to say, you might be my idol right now.
Well, it's been a crazy year in 1980. I'm also the first illusionist or person to vanish an elephant and a car off stage in the Latin countries. So I think my show was just too heavy for the Latin countries, but my show was too heavy to be performing in the United States.
Yeah. You've been televised in 53 countries. You know, I mean, who cares if the U.S. don't want it, but the U.S. is going to know Daredevil Danny one day. So, okay, now everyone already knows this, all this that we talked about. You've been on the Muse. Let's talk about your songwriting with Ramon Ayala and Juan Gabriel. Two very, very popular, probably the top performers in the Latin world right now. How did that come to be, and what are they like?
Well, they're great. A quick summary, Ramon Ayala has a ranch there in the valley, about 20 minutes from our ranch, and so that's how I got to know the guy. Juan Gabriel, also through being out in the circuit, I ran across him. I just mentioned I had a few songs, and he said, "Okay, let's check them out."
So how long was your stint with them? You know.
Yeah. Okay, well, I keep in contact with Juan Gabriel. I've been to his...
We'll get back to that because you got friends like a bag of fuel. But we'll be right back after these commercial sponsors from Mellow Yellow and Doritos. We'll be right back. Danny, you're not just a live performer. You're also an entrepreneur, correct?
Yes, I'm from the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, and I have a small trading post with the Museum of the Incredible, about 2.5 hours from my friend
Now that's the one with the 58 mutant animals, correct?
Exactly, on exhibition to the public.
Now is the star of that show, is that the pig with the human face?
Well, actually, we exhibit two pigs with human-like face.
I'm not sure I want to see that, but I think I have paid to go. But, okay. Now you also appeared on Ripley's Believe It or Not with a three-legged rooster. Was that your rooster?
Yes, actually we have two three-legged roosters, but they featured one of them.
Two three-legged roosters. Two roosters and 6 legs. Huh. Interesting. A freak show continues, right? Unfortunately, folks, it's time to wrap it up with Daredevil Danny, but don't forget to go to the Nevada County State Fair where he is exhibiting the 58 freak show animals. And Danny will be there live to give you autographs and show you his fang scars from that bat. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Danny.
KYNT, Las Vegas.
KLAC AM 570 here in Los Angeles. This is a crazy year this year, 1980, during the tour of Daredevil Danny. He bit the head off a bat during his illusionist show in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He also bit the head off a bat during his show in Acapulco, Mexico City. He was arrested in Brazil for biting the head off the bat, and when he was released, he urinated on the police station front wall. He was rearrested 30 seconds or less. This guy is one crazy daredevil. He currently holds 2 world records.
Okay, Selena, here's the demo of the duet I wrote for you and Juan Gabriel. I wrote it in English, and Juan Gabriel reviewed it and wrote the Spanish lines. According to Juan, a song of this type can put you and Juan in the English and Spanish market worldwide. Okay, Freddie Fender on guitar.